Mr. Mogotsi, I want to talk today about your signal communications with the Minister. And to begin with, I want to put to you the proposition that Signal is a more secure app than WhatsApp. Would you accept that?
It's not, repeat the question.
That Signal is a more secure app, secure against against interception than WhatsApp.
It's correct.
And it's an app that is generally used for clandestine communications.
I don't know about it.
Well, you are an agent, are you not?
I know of Telegram.
Telegram?
That's what you're saying, yes.
Do you use Telegram in your clandestine communications?
It is used, yes.
And I know it is used, but I'm asking, do you use it?
I sometimes use it, correct.
And do you have access to a Telegram account that you could share with the Commission?
Not at the moment.
Why is that?
It's a long time that I did not use it.
So you haven't used Telegram since when?
Depending on the mission, for that particular purpose, I'll use Telegram. If there is nothing related or needed for that top classification information, I will not use it.
When last did you use Telegram?
I can't remember.
Was it this year, last year?
I can't remember.
Mr. Mogotsi, you must have a broad sense of when last you used Telegram. I mean, maybe at tea time you can open your phone and look at what your Telegram account says.
Yeah, I mean, I can look for it, Commissioner. But what I'm saying, and all these points I knew, you need to know, and there are reasons. There are reasons why one will stop using a certain app. Like in the case of Telegram, there were very few people using it in the network. Everyone will use a WhatsApp or Signal.
So when you stopped using Telegram, what platform did you use for your clandestine messaging?
WhatsApp.
WhatsApp?
That's correct.
But you communicated with the Minister on Signal. Was that his choice?
It's not his choice. I also downloaded the Signal because he was using Signal.
Sorry, I didn't hear your first half of that answer. You also
downloaded Signal. But
you downloaded Signal.
Yes, he's using Signal. He was using Signal also.
Yes. Did you download it for the purpose of communicating with the Minister?
Not only that, then other few people also.
Do you remember when you downloaded Signal?
I can't remember.
When the Minister, did you have Signal on your phone when you first started communicating with the Minister?
I really cannot remember, Commissioners. You know, I'm saying most of the time I'm using the WhatsApp. And some of the apps, like you are referring to Signal, I don't know if, I believe I downloaded it somewhere last year, the Signal. And as you scroll the phone, you'll start seeing people who are also using Signal. And that's when you start greeting a person to say, hey, are you on Signal? I'm also on Signal.
But presumably the Minister is also on WhatsApp.
That's correct.
Why did you communicate with him on Signal?
We also communicated on WhatsApp. It was not only on Signal. Like I said, when you scroll the phone, you start seeing people who are using Signal.
I understand that, but why did you choose to communicate with the Minister on Signal? Why did you send Signal messages to the Minister rather than WhatsApps?
You start seeing him using your Signal and you greet and say, hello, are you also on Signal? And you start talking. There's no specific reason that we must talk on Signal.
So you use WhatsApp and Signal interchangeably?
That's correct. I'm just that I don't have Signal anymore also.
And if I understood you correctly, that when you went on to Signal, you realized that the minister was also on Signal, so you reached out to him on Signal.
That's correct.
Can we go to the first Signal text I want to discuss with you? It's at page 52. Page 52 of the Annex bundle.
That's correct.
And we touched on it, I think, 2 days ago. You'll recall just below Monday, December 23, so it's 23 December 2024, that would have been, you sent the minister a message saying, we got a breakthrough. You recall that?
Oh, this is not. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong bundle, sorry.
Page 52.
52.
Annex Charles bundle. I was looking at the exhibits bundle also, Mr. Mogotsi.
That's correct.
Now, in relation to this breakthrough, can we assume that it related to something that you and the minister had been discussing at the time? Because it would be odd for you just to text the Minister of Police out of the blue to say, we've got a breakthrough. He must have known what you were talking about.
After our engagement commissioners about this chat, I went and checked. I really, in bringing all these chats and pieces together, I cannot really find a way to contextualize this message, because I forgot what we were talking about.
So you can't recall what you and the minister were talking about in late December 2024?
I can't remember.
How many conversations did you have with the minister in 2024?
23, Mr. Chairperson.
2024. It's the 23rd of December 2024.
Communications I had with the minister.
I mean, how regularly were you talking about with the minister that you can't recall what you were talking about?
Yeah, we would talk not so many times, but with this one, because I remember we were talking over the phone, but we got a breakthrough. I can't remember what was this about.
What topics did you discuss with the minister when you spoke to him in that period when you were speaking to him?
It will be, you mean the period we are here on
I'm
this?
talking about, if I understood your version, and I think it broadly tallies with that of the minister and the chief of staff, you were in touch with him from I think it was September 2024, they say, and we've seen that communication ran on, at least through Signal, into January 2025. What sort of topics were you addressing with the minister?
It will be political topics, except the other message that I sent to him regarding what we discussed last time here about the constitutional court judgment. But the other time we'll only talk about political things.
You see, Ms. Poy has pointed out to me that when we asked you this question, when you were discussing this text 2 days ago, you said it was about Stilfontein. There was a breakthrough in Stilfontein.
In the one about the Stilfontein, we're talking about the arrest. When he asked, was the arrest effected? If you remember, I said, there I can still remember we were talking about the Stilfontein.
But this breakthrough wasn't about Stilfontein that you can remember.
I could have said if it was, because me and him, that time we were talking about a community meeting which was held at Stilfontein, and the community were looking for that suspect, and he was never arrested. So I can't remember this breakthrough. What was it about?
You see, yesterday the Chief of Staff of the Minister was in Parliament, and he was also just talking about Stilfontein. Everyone was talking about Stilfontein. Did you see the evidence of the Stilfontein from the Chief of Staff?
I can't hear the question, Commissioner.
The Chief of Staff was in Parliament, the Minister's Chief of Staff, Mr. Nkabinde. He was testifying at Parliament yesterday. And when he was asked about this contact that you had, and in particular meetings you had with the Minister, everything was about Stilfontein.
Yes, I didn't hear him, but yes, the Minister was in Stilfontein, and I was also there.
You see, I want to put to you that you know that this breakthrough had nothing to do with Stilfontein. It had to do with something else.
Unless commissioners, you know what is that? No, I can't remember.
Well, let me take you through the chats. Let's start with this one. We've got a breakthrough. Can you see the time of that chat?
Yes, I can see it.
Monday, the 23rd of December, what time?
10:34.
I'd like you to take that page and the next page out of the file so that you can keep them on one side.
Yes, I can see them.
You've got page 52 and 53 out of the file.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I actually want you to take them out the file because I'm going to take you somewhere else in the file, and I want you to be able to look at both at the same time.
Date. Oh.
Absolutely. Because this is a rare situation where we actually know what you were doing on the 23rd of December at 10:34. Can you go to page 45? And at the top of the page, you will see at exactly the same time, 23rd of December, 2024, 10:34, you were on the phone. You, in fact, called Kat Matlala. You called him at 10:34:40, but the call may not have gone through because at 10:34:59, Kat Matlala called you back.
That's correct.
And then at 10:35, you texted him iPad guy, name. Does that help you remember what the breakthrough was?
No, it doesn't go together, this one. Because even when he said iPad guy, when I wanted the name of the iPad guy, he never gave me that name. And that's even if he had given me, he would probably say that was the breakthrough. But he never gave me the name.
Sorry, Mr. Mogotsi, I must ask you to answer these questions as an honest witness, not as an operative trying to pursue an operation at this point. You texted the minister at 10:34.
Mm-hmm.
And you texted the minister saying, we got a breakthrough.
That's correct.
At 10:34, you had just come off a call, two calls in fact, to Mr. Matlala.
That's correct.
And after you texted the minister at 10:34, less than a minute after, because 10:35 exactly, you text back to Mr. Matlala, iPad guy name.
That's correct. But you see, in this situation, it happens to everyone. When you are chatting with someone and then you receive another call, when you answer that call, the particular person will start chatting to you. It has nothing to do with the breakthrough, unless if the iPad guy's name was given to me and I say, yes, we've got a breakthrough. It was not.
Mr. Mogotsi, I have to put to you that your answer in this regard is false, but let's go through the texts.
Okay.
Let's go back to page 52 to see what happens later on the 24th of December, on the 23rd of December. The minister calls you back at 11:23. Do you often get called by the minister?
Commissioner?
Do you often get called by the minister?
Yeah, he do call me, but you'll find that if we have spoken that day and we continue what we're talking about, probably he'll then call me.
Let's see. He really seemed to want to get hold of you because he called you twice.
That's correct.
Called you again at 14:49.
That's correct.
And you still can't recall what he was calling about.
I thought, Commissioner, I can't recall. I thought you'll go to the 24th and he asked me about the arrest. You see, if...
Sorry, Mr. Mogotsi, I must ask you to answer these questions as they... You can't recall.
Yes.
Let me help you again. Go back to page 45. The minister has called you at 14:49. You've had a conversation with him, apparently.
Who called me Matlala?
No. Go to 52, or you can look behind you at 52, or look to your left at 52, and you'll see that there's an incoming call from the minister at 14:49.
That's correct.
And then, 7 minutes later, if we go back to page 45,
Right.
we see that you've sent Mr. Matlala this message at 10:35 saying iPad guy name, and he hasn't come back to you.
That's
So
correct.
7 minutes after the minister calls you, you send him another message. My brother, any news from iPad?
Yes, I can see. Yeah, that's correct.
Why were you so anxious to get iPad news from Mr. Matlala? Was it that you didn't want to disappoint the minister?
No, the minister did not want the iPad guy. It is me who wanted the iPad guy. It is me who was pushing Kat to give me the iPad guy. And I'm still repeating, commissioners, unless if I send a message, we got a breakthrough, on the other side, we find that Kat has given me the iPad guy's name. Probably that would be the iPad, that would be the breakthrough. That's what will relate to the message of the breakthrough.
But then, sorry, I'm not understanding your answer. Are you saying that the breakthrough would be a breakthrough if Kat had told you who the iPad guy was?
I'm saying the message that you say, I remember, and it is linked to my communication with Kat and the minister, would have made sense that the portion where I say we got a breakthrough would have made sense because you imply that I was looking for the iPad guy, simultaneously I was talking to the minister, with our communication differs in seconds. If there was a breakthrough, it means it would have been that iPad guy. So it is not, and I cannot remember this message.
Well, let me suggest you another breakthrough that there may have been. Mm-hmm. You may have been told that there are grounds to arrest members of the PKTT for assaulting, allegedly assaulting Mr. Matlala when they arrested him on the 6th of December. And you may have reported that to the minister as a breakthrough.
Probably that would be a prophecy from somewhere.
That could be.
Maybe someone prophesizing. It's not that.
You did by this stage know that Mr. Matlala was alleging that he had been assaulted, he and his wife had been assaulted on the 6th of December.
Yes, I did. And even if those people could have been arrested, there was no need for me to tell the minister.
I see. Yeah. Well, let's look at the texts again. You've asked Mr. Matlala, still on the 23rd of December at 14:46, my brother, any news from IPID?
That's correct.
Don't get a reply from him, so you call him at 15:39 on that day.
That's correct.
Why would you be calling him? You also called him at 15:40, we see lower down.
And me and Kate were talking.
You've asked him twice for details of an IPID guy early in the day and he hasn't got back to you.
Yes, he did not come back to me.
Will you accept that the probabilities are that when you're calling him, you're looking for that IPID guy?
No, there won't be. It would have been the possibility, but if I don't remember, I don't remember. But I'm still saying I was looking for the iPad guy, and the possibility may be that, of course, I was looking for the iPad guy. But it's not easy to convey a message verbally to someone on those things. It's easy to say any iPad guy because I wanted the name. So I would want him probably to type it or to get something tangible.
So, and he hasn't yet told you who the iPad guy is?
He didn't tell me. You'll see in our chats, in some of the chats, he do acknowledge that the iPad guy could not help him and he was not brave enough. It's written in one of the messages. Yeah, there you go. On page 47, he said, on page 47, if you go there, I asked him, iPad guy can be a breakthrough. It's me saying that.
We'll come to that in due
And
course.
he answered, there's a bit of a hurdle there, but I'll fill you in. And I said, will it work? It never works.
Mr. Mogotsi, we'll get to, I promise you'll have an opportunity to explain that, chat, because the word that you use calls for some explanation. But we'll get there in due course. I want to take this chronologically.
Oh.
Let's see what the next stage of these proceedings is. On the 24th of December, if we go back to page 53 and your WhatsApps to the minister, you see on Tuesday, the 24th of December at 1919, it's the minister who's initiating contact again, and he says, was the arrest effected?
This I remember.
And what do you say this was?
And in the Stilfontein.
We're back with Stilfontein now.
That's correct.
Yeah, I want to put it to you that that's false, and you know it's false.
It's not false, it's true. It's me who was talking to the minister. There's no way you can know that.
Sorry, no one was talking to the minister here. This was the minister texting you.
Yes, I'm saying it is me who was chatting with him. And it's me who was in contact with him. There is no way a third person can say, I'm lying, it's not true, we were talking about something else. It's true what is that you see here.
Let's see how you respond to the minister. Well, first of all, we see that you did actually respond. Can we just stay on 53? There was a response that you sent on Tuesday, December the 24th. We can see the top, that little blue line at the top represents a message that would have come from you, but we can't see what its content was because it's obscured by the sign that says signal message. So we know you responded, and that you responded on Tuesday, December the 24th. We just don't know what you said.
Yeah, I can see, but I believe you, commissioners, this is most downloadable from the IPs, from the iPhone 16. It's supposed to come out clear. I don't know why is it like this.
Sorry, Mr. Mogotsi, this is a screenshot that you yourself took of your communications with the minister, then WhatsApped it to Mr. Mogotsi, Mr. Matlala.
No, I know I'm Mr. Matlala at the moment. Yeah, but I responded there, as you say, but I know we're talking about the Stilfontein.
You know you're talking about Stilfontein now.
can't hear the question.
You know now that that was about Stilfontein.
About the arrest. That's correct.
Who was arrested in Stilfontein?
It was, like I said, they were looking for a suspect after a community meeting, and he asked me if there was the arrest was. Then I called him. I also called him. I remember to say there was no any arrest.
Of course, if we had access to your signal chats, all of this would be resolved. But it seems that you no longer have access to your signal.
You know, during our interaction with your office, one of the investigators told me that I should do certain things to access and talk to whoever I did. I'm going to try to I know there's going to be cross-examinations and all those things. I'll try to get these things also.
You'll try to reconstruct your signal account.
Yeah, and by the way, there is a process. I believe that Ket Matlala's phone and it is going to be those messages will be re-downloaded perhaps at some stage. We will get all these messages.
No, but what we're looking at here is not something that any re-downloading of Kat Matlala's phone will ever help us with, because this is a screenshot of your signal communications that you sent to Mr. Matlala.
Okay. Commissioners, I'll go out there and see how do I get the signal. Try my best, because it will also help me.
It would help you to have your signal back.
No, in these proceedings, like these messages which one cannot answer, there won't be a time where someone say, I'm putting to you that you are talking about something. If the signal can work, that statement will not come again.
A signal would help both of us, I suspect.
That's correct.
Before we leave this text, the minister says, was the arrest effected? That's quite formal language. Is that how the minister speaks?
I don't know the formal and informal. Commissioners, I did tell you, I do not have formal, I'm not matriculated and I cannot literally say if this is formal and this is not formal.
Well, he isn't saying were they arrested or did they make an arrest. He's saying was the arrest effected?
On the keeping of the Stilfontein whom the community was looking for.
Can you give us some details of this Stilfontein arrest that has now loomed so large? Who was the suspect? Was the suspect ever arrested?
I don't know anymore, but...
Sorry, you don't know anymore?
Yes, I've not been following that since...
So we can assume that in December 2024, the suspect wasn't arrested?
No, that time was not arrested. Yeah. I'm just saying ever since this July 6, all our lives have changed.
And I can understand that, but I'm very curious about these Stilfontein stories that we keep hearing about. Who was the suspect? What was the suspect alleged to have done?
That king of the Zamazamas who was arrested and escaped from custody. The community was willing and they were trying to show some leads where to find the person.
Right, but that person was never arrested.
To date, I cannot confirm, but that time he was not arrested.
So when you sent a text to the minister saying you had a breakthrough, it didn't relate to the arrest of the king of the Zamazamas because he's still at large.
Just what I was saying. If it was, I would have said yes, it was the Zamazamas because the person was arrested. So since there was no any arrest effected, I cannot link the two messages.
So the breakthrough wasn't about the Zamazamas?
No, I can't remember. It was not about.
There was some other breakthrough that you can't recall?
Yeah, probably.
Let's follow that chronology a bit further. Now, we need to go back to page 46. And we see on page 46 two things, which is before the ministers texted you at 1919, you've called Mr. Matlala at 1405.
No, but I don't see where you say the minister called me. Is it the
No,
same?
no, remember the minister calls you, the minister texts you on Signal, before the minister texts you on Signal.
Yes, but that means it's the separate 2 pages that you said I should keep separate.
Yes, your communications with the minister are on pages 52 and 53.
That's correct. I have it.
So on the 24th at 1405, you had an audio call with Mr. Matlala. The minister then asks about whether an arrest has been effected at 19 hours 19, that's page 53. And nothing comes back from Mr. Matlala. But you end up calling him at 11:03 on Christmas Eve.
Calling who, Commissioner?
Mr. Matlala. Was that because you were very anxious to find out about the iPad guy because you wanted to give the minister a Christmas present?
Commissioners, I don't know how will this be understood well that the two messages, the two communications between myself and the minister and myself and Kat do not really apply to the messages of Minister Senzo. And
Well,
about the Christmas present, I don't know of a Christmas present.
I see. Let's see what happens on Christmas Day. If we go down to 8:42, that's just almost 8:45 on Christmas morning, you send Mr. Matlala a WhatsApp. Good day, bro. I believe it was a misdial, sorry. 1 iPad. So on Christmas Day, you are still badgering Mr. Matlala to give you details about iPad.
Yeah, that's correct.
We go down a little bit, in fact, over the page, all the way down to 9:18 on Christmas Day on page 47. You got that?
Time?
9:18. Sort of towards the bottom of page 47.
Yes, I see.
You got it?
Yeah.
You send Mr. Matlala a message, and the message says, iPad can be a breakthrough.
That's correct.
Does that word breakthrough ring a bell?
To get the iPad, I think that should be read together with page 46, where I say, good day, brah, Christmas 0842. I believe it was a misdial, sorry. Then 1, iPad. 2, court case date. 3, 25%, we may lose accommodation and flight packages. It must be read with that. So I knew that when he can get the iPad person, it will help him to deal with the police, those handled his wife and everything. But particularly for me, I wanted to know the iPad person.
Why did you want to know the iPad person?
Because he could do wonders. The way he told me he could deal with, it was his connection, and I wanted to know him, and he was telling me that guy can do wonders, can arrest.
And what would these wonders do to advance your operation?
Is to know this particular pit guy who is able to perform his duties so wonderfully, instructed by this private person.
I see. Let's follow the chats. You say iPad can be a breakthrough.
That's correct.
Or is it just a coincidence that you use breakthrough in your text to the minister a couple of days earlier and breakthrough there?
Yeah, it's a coincidence.
Unfortunate coincidence.
Question, Commissioner?
An unfortunate coincidence.
Yeah, it's a coincidence.
I see. What happens later is you've texted at 9:18. Mr. Matlala says at 9:18, there's a bit of a hurdle there, but I'll fill you in. You text back at 10:32, will it work? And he says at 10:54, needs someone brave enough.
That's correct. It means that iPad guy couldn't do it, and he ended up not giving the name of the iPad guy, but the man was not brave enough.
I see. So we didn't have an iPad guy who was brave enough. Let's go down the chat until we get to 27 December, the day that you forward him the minister's exchange. Page 52. You've got it?
I got it. The one I have in my hand.
Indeed. On the 27th of December, you send Mr. Matlala your exchange with the minister about breakthroughs and whether arrests were effected. You follow that?
I can't follow.
What you have in your hand, pages 52 and 53, is a screenshot of your signal chat to the minister that you sent to Mr. Matlala on the 27th of December at 12:01. You'll see the date when you sent it to Mr. Matlala if you go to the top of page 52.
That's correct.
So you have a screenshot of your signal account with the minister. Take a screenshot, you forward it to Mr. Matlala on WhatsApp on the 27th of December at 12:01.
That's correct.
And what you're forwarding to him is this.
Thing of Stelfontein.
Well, you say it's a thing of Stilfontein. What it says is we got a breakthrough and was the arrest effected?
Yeah, but this.
And then 4 minutes after you, sorry, not 4 minutes, 12:05, 4 minutes after you've sent it to him, you send him a one-word message that says iPad.
That's correct.
Why did you send that one-word message iPad to him straight after forwarding him the minister's?
No, I was going back to the discussion, our discussion about the iPad, but I can tell you why did this message go to him of the Stelfontein. Then the police who released, let's start my work again. The police who were charged for the escape of that Kimping, which we were looking for. There was a case and they were charged. And one of these police is based here in Pretoria. And this, as I was talking, maybe this one, I can't remember, but we were talking, me and Kate on the phone. And he told me, you know, I've got a guy. This guy can help us, because I was telling him about that guy, because the one of them who was charged staying in Pretoria. And he felt that that guy wanted to tell the truth.
Sorry, can I just clarify what you're saying now? That Mr. Matlala had told you that he knew this guy
who was one of the police officers who were charged for the escape of the Kingpin.
Of allowing the Kingpin to escape.
Yes, that one.
Is this the same story as that operation? Sorry, hang on a minute. The operation
Malumkoti
with Colonel Maluleke that you did with the Nkabis that won you the trust of General Sibia, or is it a different situation?
No, this is a different situation. We are talking about, yes, the person we wanted to have, the Kimping who ran away. Now, this camping were in our commissioners. We could not get him. Now, I reached to Matlala that, we are looking for this and this and this person. The police allowed or they ganged or whatever, but they teamed up to have this man escaped. And he said, indeed, there's one guy also from here who was working there. I think he may know how this whole thing happened.
You see, what's odd about this explanation is there's not the faintest hint of it in any of the WhatsApps that we see between yourself and Mr. Matlala, which traverse a very wide range of subjects, but never touch on Stilfontein at all.
Yeah, but we would also talk over the phone, because that was now when I was talking to him over the phone.
I see. So you're suggesting that it's just another unfortunate coincidence that when you send the minister's communication to you, to Mr. Matlala, you just happened, unfortunately, to follow it up with a one-line message saying IPID. That message was sent 4 minutes later.
Yeah, but IPID has always been our story, me and Matlala. And I told him that we are looking for this particular guy. And some of the information he provided about this police officer who was charged could not actually help us at the end of the day. We couldn't find that man. And this, for the commission's knowledge, information, those police who were charged, they are still, I think, their disciplinary hearings have just been concluded. I'm not sure, since July 6th.
Let's follow the chats. 12:05, you say IPID.
That's correct.
You get a response about 20 minutes later from Mr. Matlala, who says, let me know when you get back.
That's correct.
12:31, you say, what does the guy need? And then you say, I'm heading to Cape Town for January the 8th at 12:32. And then Mr. Matlala writes back to you at 12:37. The case needs to have assault for him to effect arrest.
That's correct.
He uses that same phrase, effect arrest. Is that another coincidence?
That's correct. Well, that's an English word, eh?
It is an English word. It's quite a formal way of describing the process of arresting someone.
Yeah, but this cat, I couldn't tell him what to write and how not to write. It's an English word.
So it's another one of these inexplicable, unfortunate coincidences that he just happens to use the same formal language as the minister does when he comes to describing the process of arrest.
No, probably not like the minister does. Maybe just because he just copied maybe from what I sent him, or it's an English that came to him that time. It's just an English word.
I see, because he then goes on to use what sounds like his own English when he says he's saying he can't do arrest if there's no J88 to prove assault.
That's correct.
And my wife is not keen to open up an assault case. The guards who were assaulted at my house only coming back in January, they went home for Christmas.
That's correct. May I add something, Commissioner? The formal way of writing, you see, if you can check how I write and how Kat writes, usually, the case needs to have, yes, if he types his sentences in full, he like typing formally. That's how he types, unlike me. So his English is very, very formal.
He can't do arrest a formal description in the sentence that's typed in full?
I can't understand the question, Commissioner.
You're saying when he types in full, he likes to use formal English, but in this paragraph where he types in full, first he says the case needs to have assault for him to effect arrest. mirroring exactly what the minister said. And then he says, he's saying he can't do arrest if there's no J88. Is do arrest a formal, Mr. Matlala's usual formal style for typing out long sentences?
Yeah, but this is how it's written. I don't know if commissioners, was he expected to repeat effect arrest so that the English could be proper?
You were the one who said he writes formally when he writes in long sentences.
Yeah, and formally, commissioners cannot repeat the sentence, the words. Like here, he doesn't even say to open a case. If it's me, I would write 2 in a number. And I'll open up an assault case. I would have just said a criminal or a case. But I'm trying to show you that he even put a comma. That's very formal way of writing. Comma, the guards who were assaulted at my house, everything is formal, how he types.
You see, Mr. Matlala, what I'm going to put to you is that it is absolutely clear from these chats that what you and the minister were discussing on 23 and 24 December was the possible arrest of PKTT members by IPID in relation to the events during the 6th December operation at Mr. Matlala's house.
No, that was not the discussion. That was not the discussion. It cannot be that I can discuss the arrest of these PKTT members with the minister. And to be clear with you, I know who can arrest and who has that power to arrest the PKTT. I cannot even think that I can rely on Matlala to get me IPID guy to arrest this guy. I wanted the IPID guy. But the notion that you are saying is totally not true.
Why did you want the IPID guy?
Because they said he can do wonders. And the wonders meaning he could. And I wanted to know who this person was. It was not the first time I hear about him. It was not the first time.
So what were you hoping to achieve through the IPID guy?
After I got him.
Who did you want the IPID guy to arrest?
No, I did not want that. I was not interested in how the IPID will arrest those people. I wanted to know the IPID guy.
Why did you want to know an IPID guy?
This for my investigation, for my own operation.
For what purpose?
Purpose will never be understood, Commissioner. I wanted this particular guy.
This particular IPID guy?
That's correct.
The one who Mr. Matlala had been speaking to at a certain stage?
That's correct.
What was so special about that guy?
Commissioners, you know, I know IPID people. I know a lot of them. I interacted with even the investigators. I know a lot of them. I did not need Matlala to help me find an IPID person who can effect any arrest. I said I wanted the IPID guy for my own purpose, for whatever that I wanted him for. Not what you are implying that we were planning that the IPID should arrest the PKTT members.
But why then would IPID be a breakthrough in your own words?
I don't understand what, from the message that I said.
You send a message, IPID can be a breakthrough.
I remember when you talked to Matlala, I wanted the IPID guy. He wanted him to assist him to arrest people who assaulted his wife. For me to support him, I must keep on saying, I must get this IPID guy to get you these people.
And what was going to be so special about this one IPID guy as opposed to all of the other IPID guys you know?
You see, I'm not at liberty to tell. I'll be opening another camp as to what this particular IPID guy do, according to Matlala.
All right, well, I put it to you that your version here is transparently false, but I'm not going to take it further.
Mr. Senzo, are you leaving this chat?
I'm leaving this chat, but I'm moving on to other signal chats, which will cast further light
I just
on it.
need the witness to clarify. Mr. Mogotsi, whose arrest were you discussing with Mr. Matala in the last chat on page 53? Because it does refer to somebody's arrest, and it says the wife is not willing to open an assault case. The guards who were assaulted at my house are only coming back in January. So whose arrest are you discussing in this chat?
The people who went to his house,
The PKTT.
those that went to his house and harassed him.
The PKTT.
If
Yes
it
or
was-
no?
Yes, yes. If it was the PKTT, yes, that's correct.
Thank you.
Well, you will recall later on that when you send Mr. Matlala news of the disbandment decision, you say the people who arrest you, that unit's been disbanded.
Yes, very much.
So it was the PKTT people you were
Correct.
looking to have arrested.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Can we then go to the next text, which also seems to be a text to the minister from you targeting the PKTT and its leadership? Can we go to page 57?
57.
57. And you'll see that on the 31st of December at 11:18, you forward to Mr. Matlala a screenshot of another message that you have sent to the minister. And you'll recall that we discussed this message yesterday. It's a message that refers to a constitutional court judgment on 20 December 2024, the Makala judgment. And you say to the minister, Minister, I'm going to get the case number and this judgment for you. Now we've got something proven by the court. This is the matter now which either Sibia or the minister can charge Khumalo and apply Rule 9 of the disciplinary hearing. It took the Constitutional Court to release a man who was sentenced to life imprisonment through a forced Section 204 confession. Imagine, Comrade Senzo, after 30 years of democracy having this kind of policing. The good thing now is that these are not allegations but a court judgment. We discussed this briefly again yesterday. And can you just run us through your reasoning as to why this would afford a basis for the charging of General Khumalo?
As we were discussing yesterday, I did say the head of the PKTT should take responsibility if this has been decided by the court.
Who told you about this case?
Commissioner?
Who told you about this case, this judgment?
I can't remember where I saw it, but I can't remember who sent me that court charge. It was on the news, I think. This was on the news on the 24th.
Do you know that there's not a single mention of the PKTT or, in fact, General Khumalo in the judgment?
Yeah, I was informed here yesterday by Madam Commissioner. And I thought it was the PKTT.
You thought it was the PKTT?
Yes.
Why did you think the minister would be interested in the idea of charging General Khumalo arising from this judgment, assuming you were right that it was the PKTT?
And I did not think he'll be interested. I was just showing him my view that time, of which I even found it that it is probably the National Commissioner or whoever we can charge them, not the minister.
What's interesting about what you write to the minister is well, there are at least two features of what you write to him that I would submit are interesting. The first is you say you're going to get the case number and this judgment for you. Now we got something proven by the court. Who's the we?
Me and people, whoever sent me that thing, and even when we speak, actually, me and the person who sent me that thing will refer to ourselves as we, and even me when I speak to the minister, I may end up saying we.
So we includes the minister, I would have thought. If you write to someone, or if you say to someone, we have this, or we should do that, you're saying that person and yourself are the we.
No, not in this one.
So this was not.
If the message talks about democracy and after 30 years, we means the people of South Africa, means the public.
So this is like the royal we.
Yeah, no, yes. Not,
you're speaking on behalf of the whole South African nation.
No, whoever who has this particular interest that someone is being acquitted after being sentenced to life, those that see this as an achievement.
But why would you write to the minister about this?
The minister, irrespective of for which department, even if this was in relation to minerals, I would write to the Minister of Minerals. If it was about sports, he would write to the Minister of Sports.
On his personal Signal account?
On any platform where you are able to find him.
Then you say, this is the matter now which either Sibiya or the minister can charge Khumalo and apply Rule 9 of the disciplinary hearing. So you're suggesting to the minister that he should discipline General Khumalo?
As a public, yes, as a South African, I was not the first person to suggest. Where we want accountability, you will even say, Minister, fire these people, or Minister, do this.
But you're not an ordinary member of the public in relation to the minister, Mr. Mogotsi. You're someone who the minister has been phoning on several occasions on WhatsApp, on Signal.
As a comrade, and it should not be misconceived that if someone is a comrade and you being a comrade, the moment he becomes a minister, is no more a comrade. You'll still call him, he'll still call you.
And in your testimony a few minutes ago, you said it may be the National Commissioner to do the disciplining. But in this message, you didn't mention the National Commissioner, you mentioned Sibiya. Why did you mention Sibiya?
I don't know why I mentioned Sibiya, but I mentioned it.
Come now, Mr. Mogotsi, you do know why you mentioned Sibiya. Why would you have mentioned Sibiya?
Commissioners, if you know why I mentioned him, please be at liberty to tell the Commission why.
I'm not saying I know, I'm saying that you know.
When you say I know, it means you know that I know.
Why on earth would you mention a deputy national commissioner in relation to the discipline of General Khumalo? What could General Sibiya have anything... what relevance could General Sibiya have to the disciplinary process?
No, I understand the question. Sorry for wasting Commission's time. The Deputy National Commissioner of Detection is, we like using the word the boss to both the Divisional Commissioner of Intelligence, General Khumalo. He is the immediate supervisor, he is the immediate person above him.
So you're saying that General Khumalo reports to General Sibiya?
Definitely.
Well, I think you're wrong in that regard. Is that what you thought?
I'm not wrong.
You are wrong. It's not a debate that we need to have with you. It's a legal fact that we can debate at the end of this commission.
Okay, may I clarify this to the Commission? The Divisional Commissioner of Crime Intelligence is accountable to the DNC, to the Deputy National Commissioner.
Who told you this? Is that what General Sabia told you when, in your meetings with him, when he was handling your operation?
No, I know.
Is it what your handlers told you?
It's I can even say it's my handler, but I know that the Deputy National Commissioner is above the Divisional Commissioner. They are both Lieutenant Generals, but this one is a Divisional Commissioner. The Deputy National Commissioner is above the Divisional Commissioner.
It's not a debate that I want to have with you, but I do want to know where you get that view.
It's not a view. The only person who's above the Deputy National Commissioner is the National Commissioner. And underneath the Deputy National Commissioner is the Divisional Commissioner.
Well, let's leave that there. I just want to find out from you, was the minister receptive to your suggestion that General Khumalo should be charged arising out of the Makala judgment?
It was quite clear even on the message, he did not even respond to it.
No, it's not clear on the message that he did not respond. We don't know what happened in your signal communications with the minister, because this is the only piece of the screenshot we see.
No, I know he did not respond.
So he didn't respond at all to this message?
He never responded.
But he did respond to other messages later?
Like I say, he did not respond to this particular message.
I see. We do know, however, and we'll get to it in due course, that he asked his chief of staff to set up a meeting for you on the 3rd of February at a later stage.
In the legislature?
The chief of staff testified yesterday, having looked at the minister's diary, that the minister had tasked him to set up a meeting for you and the minister on the 3rd of February.
Oh, with some comrades, that's correct.
Right. We'll get to that meeting a little later. Chair, I think I've run over time here.
Let's adjourn and resume at 11:25.
Thank you, Chair.